Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Transcending Alchemist. My name is Asher. I know I haven't posted on here not much, if at all. But thank you so much for joining me. For those that are watching, willing to watch. I don't know, something that's just been on my heart to share is through this journey of me coming out as trans and then learning what that means for me over the past 6 years now, and how what that means for me, and then how things have just kind of progressed and changed over the years, and just me learning more about who I am as I step into like my authentic self and allowing myself to be who I've always known I'm meant to be. Still learning, still growing, but definitely have a clearer picture and a clearer path than pre-transition. I know in today's world, there's a lot of hate against the trans community, against the queer community. And I think a lot of that hate stems from fear, not understanding, so that lack of knowledge, and thinking that, we're here to corrupt the world, when in reality, we're just humans. We're just people trying to live our lives and trying to make sense of it all, just like you, and just trying to enjoy and learn and grow and heal. And we're not out here in these streets trying to corrupt anyone. If anything, we just want to change hearts to love people just for who they are, and to meet people where they're at. Something that's kind of been replaying in my head is just like, being trans is not all that I am. It's a big part of my life, and I think at first coming out, for me, it was like buying the blue, pink, and white flags. It was, buying t-shirts, stickers, anything to kind of just outwardly show and embrace me being trans. And then over time, I just realized, okay, like, that's not all that I am. And I'm still proud. I'm still out. If anyone, if they ask me, hey, what's that chemical on your arm or on your hand? And it's like, it's testosterone. And when people ask me the why behind it, I'm gladly open to tell them I got it on the anniversary of me starting T. And it's something I'm so proud of myself for, just being comfortable enough and vulnerable enough to step out into that arena of being trans and being openly trans, and knowing that those who are willing to fight prior to me transitioning, not all of them are going to stay. In fact, majority of them ended up leaving rather quickly. And the few that I thought for sure were going to run away, shun me, they've been my biggest supporters. Whether it was a message saying, I love you, I'm so proud of you, thank you for sharing your story, or it's more of a, yeah, it's about time, and now you're my brother. And it just was like a drop in the bucket to them, and it was so great to have that experience. And it's not everyone's story. As much as I feel alone, I realize I'm actually not. I've lost some people that I wish stayed by my side, But when I look at the overall picture, those that chose to stay, I couldn't ask for a bigger blessing. But back to me saying, like, being trans is not all that I am. And I think when some people get caught up when either a loved one, whether it's a family member, a friend, a partner, a coworker, says, hey, you know what, I really think, like, I'm trans. Like, the more I've explored it with my therapist, or the more I've thought about it and practice pronouns, or practice a different name, it just felt right, and I felt more confident. Or I've experienced dysphoria with my chest or my bottom region, and when I bind or when I wear breastplates, like, I feel more comfortable and I feel more confident. Some people, like, when they hear that, then it's like, oh, okay, now you're, like, they just slap a label, and it's like, yes, and for me, it's like, yes, I'm trans, like, 100%, like, not trying to dupe anybody, not trying to, pretend to be something I'm not. It's like, no, I'm fully aware, and this is who I am, but it's not all that I am. I am a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son, whether they like to acknowledge me as their son or not. I'm a son. I'm an uncle. I'm a nurse. I'm a leader. I'm a speaker. I like to think of myself as a chef. I'm a coffee connoisseur. I'm so many things that me being trans just kind of enhances. It's along there with the list, and I don't want to, like, belittle it, but I also don't want to get so wrapped up in that title. And I think, when we come out to family members who disagree with our lifestyle, so to speak, that's all they get wrapped up in is, well, they're trans, or what some family members might say, like, they're lost, they're confused, oh, my wayward child, whatever it may be. And it's like, you've lost sight of like who I am as a person, and now you've lessened me to just this. Again, I'm proud to be trans, and, like, it is a big part of who I am. I'm not denying that, but it's not all that I am. And that's, for those who are struggling with this, like, it's not all that you are either. And I want to read something I shared, or I wrote. It's called No Contact, and this is kind of something I wrote just on the fly, so apologies if it's a little oddly written, but it's raw, it's vulnerable. It's kind of what I like so far with my videos on my channel, to be raw and vulnerable and unedited. Maybe over time I'll edit it, I don't know, like, we'll see. Again, this is just for me to be real with myself. So if people like it, great. If they don't, sounds cool. No contact. There are moments when I puff out my chest, look myself in the mirror, and hype myself up with mantras like, I am worthy of love and acceptance, and I am beautiful just the way that I am. I shout these affirmations at the top of my lungs and hope that the louder I say them, the more I'll believe it myself, and I'll stop being so sad. I'll stop believing and adopting your realities as my own. I'll stop equating my value to your presence in my life, or lack thereof. You see, when you refuse to call me by my name, and I accept whatever nickname of the week you have assigned to me in order to placate your discomfort, I'm really telling myself that my name isn't worth it. The name I have chosen for myself to embody my true self is not worthy enough to grace the presence of your lips. So I compromised, and as a result, I tell myself I'm not worthy. When you refused to acknowledge me as a son and a father, what you really said was, I am not worthy of you as my dad if I'm not willing to be your daughter. You get so caught up in the title, and yet you don't see your child standing there in tears because you refuse to choose him. Just choose me as your kid, just as I am. I stand here as an adult, but my inner child is curled up there on the floor in a puddle of tears. You say you're proud of me, and looking back, you were proud, but of the idea of me. Proud of having a daughter who accomplished all of these great things, but changed the noun to son, and all of a sudden you're silenced and my accomplishments amount to nothing. In a sense, I guess going no contact was my choice. Since I set the boundary, you ignored it, and I refused to continue the cycle. Yes, that generational cycle of brushing things under the rug with a Merry Christmas or a Happy Birthday without actually talking about the elephant in the room. Why is it so hard for you to just say my name? Why do you still refuse to acknowledge that I am a son, a brother, a father, and a husband? All I ask is for effort. Effort to spend time with me, effort to get to know each other, effort to heal and grow a relationship. But I guess you weren't interested. Or maybe it's that you're not capable to give me those things, but I guess I'll never know. I look at my kids, and the man in me wants to love them, and the man in me loves them for who they are, wants them to be true to themselves, for themselves, and no one else. But my inner child is jealous, envious, and a little bitter sometimes. My inner child sometimes gets so angry that he had to grow up so fast and lose his childhood. He had to be the one to choose himself because at the end of the day, his own parents were too selfish to choose him. And so my fatherhood journey has been rocky. A constant battle of emotional immaturity versus maturity, inner child versus healing adult. I try to talk to him, love on him, but I'm still not perfect at it either because it hurts so much sometimes. I want to just fix it for him, but I know that I can't go back in time and fix it. But what I can do is I can hold his hand through it and let him know that even though our dad didn't choose us, I chose us. And I'll learn to be the best dad we ever needed. Again, a little rough, but just something, that's just the reality, unfortunately, for a lot of trans, non-binary, queer people, is that once you come out to those who are close to you who just don't understand, or they're afraid, or maybe it's a religious reason that they're afraid you're gonna go to hell, or whatever the case may be, they get so caught up in that title and they lose sight of who we are as individuals. I'm still me. Yes, my name is Asher. Yes, I have facial hair. Yes, I've had top surgery. Yes, my voice is deeper, not as deep as I'd like it to be, but it's deeper. But I still accomplished nursing school. I still, accomplished getting promotions. I still, it was still me who, joined the Marines and graduated boot camp and, served my time. It's still me who was the student athlete of the year, back at my junior college. I still accomplished all those things. It's still my brain. It's still me. This same flesh, this same blood. But they just get so caught up in, oh, you're trans now. And So I just, for those out there who are, like me, who have gone through that, or still going through that, or about to go through that, or afraid they're going to go through that, I just want to let you know that, like, I see you for all that you are. I acknowledge that, you are trans, or you're non-binary, or you're queer. And I love that about you, and I love that for you. But I also see that you as a whole person is way more than that. And you're so beautiful, and that you are loved, and that even though this world right now isn't making us feel loved and accepted, hopefully you can come to my channel if I continue to post. I don't know. But hopefully you can come to my channel, watch some of my videos, and realize, like, you are worth it. And just because somebody doesn't want to say your name, don't equate your worth to that. And for those parents or loved ones out there who are struggling with their child, their partner, their friend, their brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, whoever it is that's coming out as trans, queer, non-binary, remind yourself that they are more than just that title. Remind yourself that they are the same person that you loved, and just because the outward shell might change and the inside might become bolder and stronger, be happy for them, rejoice for them. Their walk is not your walk. And know that just because they come out as, trans, non-binary, queer, whatever it is, it doesn't change who they are fundamentally. Like, if anything, my values have been deeper, my morals have grown stronger, and my love for other people has exponentially expanded. Like, it's unreal now, like, how much I love and appreciate and support and understand other people, regardless of, like, gender identity, sexual identity, religion, spirituality, life choices, like, whatever it is. Like, I've become way more understanding and way more gracious and way more loving, because I guess it took me to feel my own heartache to understand, like, shit, that sucks. Pardon my French, but it sucks. It sucks to be on that, receiving end. And I wrote this piece about a year and a half ago, about a year into me going no contact with my dad. And it's not that I don't love him. It's not that I don't care about him. It's not that I don't wish him the best. I do. I will always love that man, and I will always appreciate that man for all that he has done, even though there's some areas he could have done better. I forgive him for that. But for my own peace and sanity, I had to choose me. And I couldn't do that back and forth. I couldn't do the different nicknames because they just simply couldn't say Asher. I couldn't do the awkward, this is my daughter, and then I'm standing there like, hello, how are you? Like, I'm his daughter. Like, no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And then, when you bring kids into the mix, it's a whole other level of, like, they know me as dad. And yes, they know who I am. And they know, that I am a trans man. But that, again, for them, like most kids, like, it's a drop in the bucket. They're like, oh, okay, cool, hey dad. Like, they don't care, because what do they care about? Do I play with them? Do I love on them? Do I make sure that they have shelter? Do Do I give them gifts for their birthday and Christmas? Like, do I spend time with them? Do I show up for their games? And do I show up for their award ceremony? And do I cheer loudly? Like, do I make sure their clothes fit and that they have shoes that fit? Do I, you know, it's about the deeper things in life. Like, do I love their mom? And am I gentle? Am I kind? And, do I cook them good food? Like, these are the things that they worry about. It's not, oh, what do you have in your pants? Oh, you chopped what off? Like, they could care less. If anything, they're more excited when I have top surgery because guess what? I was home because I was off work. Like, and they love it. Um, it. I encourage you to just have more of a childlike approach to your loved ones who come out as trans, non-binary, and that you really, in the grand scheme of things, is it worth losing them? Is it worth not being there to cheer them on? Is it worth missing years of life with that person simply because their outward appearance changed, their name changed, and they have different pronouns? Like, I don't know, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. It really does, because I look at my kids, and I couldn't imagine losing them simply because of those things. I look at my niece and nephew, and I couldn't imagine losing them simply because of those things. Like, the heartache is unreal. And for what? My pride? Like, your pride? And I mean, I'm not even going to touch on the whole, like, religious piece. Like, I respect people's religion, and I respect people's, like, spirituality and belief systems. And, I grew up in the church. But, like, if you really want to take it there, like, weren't you taught to love your neighbor more than yourself? Weren't you taught to like, you who is without sin cast the first stone? Like, crickets. Like, we all have our own issues, and we all have our own downfalls. And if you want to talk salvation, you can't force anyone. All you can do is help them out and support them. And, like, Jesus never, in the Bible, he never shunned anyone. He hung out with people who were misfits. He flipped tables in the synagogue. Like, I don't know, maybe I read the wrong Bible, but and that's just, coming from a Christian background. I can't speak for other religious backgrounds, but and I'm not an expert. I'm just talking life, and the fact that I would hope that you wouldn't want to miss out on someone simply because of that. And to take it from someone's real account of going through it, like, it sucks. It hits hard. But what I can say is that me embracing my true self and being true to myself and choosing my inner child, and helping him heal and grow into a better dad, a better husband, a better human being, I wouldn't trade that for the world. So that's me. Thank you so much for those that have listened, and leave a comment below of your thoughts. But please keep them appropriate, keep them kind. If you came on here to bash the trans community, you came to the wrong channel. I'm not going to get into those arguments with you. And if you have questions, please post them below. Again, keep them appropriate, keep them kind. Remember, we're all humans, just trying to get through life, figure it out, heal from our past, and grow into our future. So be blessed.